Okay. I really should have just kept the screen recording going. I've had to press record again when I'm still using the screen. Okay, these aren't filled in, so let me just quickly do that. Okay, this is where we're at. Boy, oh boy. Let's start with Friday night. We'll start with Friday night. Port Adelaide and Hawthorn. Oh dear. This is harder for me than it is for some people. It is. It's harder for me than it is for some people. I think a lot of people are writing Port Adelaide off here. They have a lot to play for. Ken's job is probably on the line. Second place would be wasted, and I don't think anyone at that club wants that. So they're going to be motivated to an extent. But that loss to Geelong is just what do you do after that? I think it does a lot to a team's mental state and mental capacity going into the next game, especially when it's a final and you're staring down the barrel of a second consecutive straight sets exit. I think the Hawks are going to win. They're coming in with so much momentum out of that win against a team that were potentially equally as exciting, equally as good going into that game. They really dispatched of them. And the way they did that, you take a lot out of that as a young team. And I think they're very capable where some people questioned how they would adjust to the moment and the pressure of the moment. They're very capable of just taking it and running with it. It's just I don't know what Sam Mitchell has drilled into this team, but they're here to play, and I think they're going to beat the Power. I don't think it's going to be a dropping. I don't think it's going to be a thumping by any means. I think they'll win by 3, 4 goals. Cruise home. It might be closer in the lead up. These two teams have had a close game already this year at Adelaide Oval. We remember what happened that time. The Hawks blew a lead, and the Power kicked a miraculous goal late to seal the win. I think it'll be close again, but I think Hawthorn just they're Hawthorn under pressure. Danger, 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 danger. So I'm going the Hawks. That sets up a brilliant prelim if that happens. The second game, Saturday night, is the Giants and the Lions. Much harder to pick than the other game for me. Very even, very even. What have we seen from these two teams? I guess that's the easiest way to analyze it. So, Brisbane, I think they might come in a lot fresher. They might come in a lot fresher because, as I said before, I think they took their foot off the pedal just a little bit against Carlton in that second half. And why wouldn't you when you're 10 goals up at halftime? Um, although 8 goals up because we kicked 2 late ones, but semantics. Giants, on the other hand, were playing very good football and they're capable of playing very, very good football, and we know that. But they would be absolutely spent from that last quarter of footy. They were just always on the back foot against the Swans. And I guess that's reflective of how the Swans play and what the Swans are capable of and what we know they can do late in games. But again, we speak about momentum, and I wonder what this will do for their momentum. Also staring down the barrel of a straight sets exit, much like Port. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust to this, being on the other side of this caper. Because last year, obviously, they were seventh, won the elimination final, came up against Port, and they were the team hunting the upset. And they were the team that sent Port out in straight sets. They are now the team that have to fight off the Lions, a very good Lions team, who I think are going to have so much momentum going into this game after what they did to us. I really do. I'm going to tip the Lions. I think we're getting double straight sets. I think we are. I think we're getting it. It's such a tough game, that one. It could go either way. I think much like Sydney and the Giants, it's going to come down to the wire. I think it'll be a very late last gasp effort from one of the teams to pick up this win. And if that happens to the Giants twice, God, I would feel sorry for them, but I think it'll happen. I think Brisbane in a close one. And that's where we land. So for me, the prelims are going to be Sydney and Hawthorn and Geelong and Brisbane. Sydney, Hawthorn, and Geelong is just like so frustrating to look at because that's my childhood watching football. These teams were the teams that were dominant, and they're dominant again. And it's gonna almost be disheartening to watch. But the Lions were pretty poor for that time, so it's good to see them up and about. It is their last chance, though. So, in my opinion, or it could be their last chance, because they've had so many runs at it. But yeah, they're a big chance, and I think these are the two prelims: Sydney, Hawthorn, and Geelong and Brisbane. Am I content with that? No. I really don't know with this Giants and Brisbane game. I really don't know. It's probably it's harder than any of the games last week, I think. Even harder than Bulldogs, Hawthorn, and Port and Geelong. I mean, Bulldogs, Hawthorn wasn't that hard for me, to be fair. I was pretty convinced that the Dogs were going to win that. But Port Geelong for sure was a bit of a yeah. That's going to be such a fun watch on Saturday night.